That was close.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome in today for the 83rd episode of the Pod Once podcast. I'm your host, Char J, joined by my co-host, Luke.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And Hereth Productions.
What's up? I was going to say what Luke just said. Nice.
Hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. Today, we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 18 of Star Wars Rebels, titled Shroud of Darkness. We're going to be diving into some Jedi lore, some Ahsoka, some Anakin Skywalker, little tidbits of that, and battle between the Inquisitors and all of that good stuff within the Force. We have a handful of guests on today to talk about this particular episode. I mean, this is one of the favorite episodes of Star Wars Rebels, so I feel like it's only fitting for us to have a good collective of people to talk about it. Luke, Hereth, we ready to go?
Hell yeah!
Absolutely.
The Jedi Knights are all but destroyed, and yet your task is not complete, Inquisitor. The Emperor has foreseen a new threat rising against him. The Podwans Podcast.
We are back. Okay, so as per usual, we have 5 guests on today to talk about Shroud of Darkness. What we usually do is we bring in the returners, and then we bring in the newbies. We actually have one new guest on for our show. One who has never been on any Podwan stuff until now. So first, let's bring on our few returners of our show. Our good friend, Twitch streamer, good friend, Calfor.
Oh, hi. Hello. It's me. I think Luke's still muted.
You started off with like, oh yeah, we're gonna start with our returners, and then you started talking about the newbie, and then I'm like,
where are we going?
Which one is it?
Both.
At the exact same time.
Cal,
it's gonna be everybody. I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? It's been a minute.
Oh, it's been a while.
I keep feeling like I'm gonna miss like the next react I'm scheduled for because it's just been so long since the last one I was on. I keep like checking the spreadsheet and I'm like, oh, did I miss one? Okay, no. It's like a month from now. I'm like, okay, we're good.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, good to be back.
Because you know how I am. I like to schedule things like out 6 months in advance because
like a year.
Crazy. Yeah, pretty much. But Cal, where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
I mean, honestly, it really doesn't matter which social media platform you go to. If you just search California, you should find me.
Awesome. All right, Char. Who's next?
Our next guest, another returner to our show. He is known as the Jedi Master, as per his username, and it fits perfectly with this show. Let's bring in Ryan at Jedi Master Depaul.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
Depaul.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate this. Thanks for having me back. That's most important. So
absolutely,
appreciate that.
You are always fun. You bring the fun energy, and we appreciate you coming on. And it's great having a different perspective because I feel like not to single you out here, but I think you might be the oldest person in this group.
I think I am, and
so you bring a little bit of wise
wisdom,
wisdom and
knowledge, wisdom.
Yeah, it's great.
Somebody tells me I'm the youngest person in this room. I don't know why.
Yeah, you are. Now pipe up, shut. You know your role. Shut up, you jabroni. Depaul, where can the good people follow you?
The good people and sometimes the bad people can find me.
Yes.
They can find me on TikTok under Jedi Master Depaul. That's my username. And you also can find me on YouTube at the Conspiracy Cantina. Been doing some stuff going on. And if you didn't know, I mean, I'll plug it later on. But
no, you can plug it now. We'll plug it both. I don't care. Plug them both.
Well, hey, we got a giveaway going on right now. If you try and get a 4-day adult pass to Star Wars Celebration 2023 in Europe. Yes, Europe.
I love
it. I'll get that information out for you later on. But if you want to know more, hit me up and I will get that information for you free. No purchase necessary, so you can just win.
Awesome.
Also shout out to your co-host over at Conspiracy Cantina, X-Core Gamer Skills.
X-Core, yes.
Miss him very much.
Where's
Love
he
having him on here.
He's on the chat.
Where is he to rip Char about not laying out to boil water?
Man.
You need that.
This is starting out so well.
All right.
I love it.
Well, thanks. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
Depaul. Can I call you Ryan now? I feel like I
You can
always
call me
Oh
Ryan,
my
yes.
god.
You can
I
call
feel
me
like-
Ryan.
I feel like
you can
we've
call
known
me
each
Paul.
other.
call you Ryan?
I call you Ryan?
I don't know, I'm Char.
And, no.
My name's Charlie Jones.
Hi. I mean, especially with the shit that we went through at Celebration, I feel like I have some sort of
Oh,
like
You
cr-
earned
credibility
that,
to
yes.
call
we,
you
we,
Ryan.
we have that
I-
connection.
No, I feel like Depaul and I
Like
also have that
branding, yeah.
connection because I remember, what was it, day 2 or was it day 1? I was walking from my hotel room to wait for an Uber, and I'm like on my phone, and I glance to the right in like the cafeteria area, and I just see Depaul. I'm just like,
He's
That's
everywhere
what I
but
do.
nowhere
Paul-
at the same
Paul-
time.
Like,
Paul's just like sitting here, just like minding his own business, and then Hereth just comes running up to him. Paul.
Well,
canon,
so-
very canon.
So to make the story short, I basically got stranded
Oh,
at Celebration, and DePaul saved my ass. So that's
He's a
basically
real
the,
one.
the sum of it.
That's what friends do.
Paul's a real one. Paul's
But
a real
yeah, hey, thank you for joining us. But our next guest, another returner and a great help of our show. She is one of the main pieces as to where we are today with Podwans, and that's thanks to her and our hot D reactions. Let's bring in the queen of the queen of ice and fire, Cat Lady JJ.
Hi.
Or Lady Dragon JJ.
You literally. I have never seen you stumble more in an introduction.
I'm
It's
just
a first for
laughing at
everything.
you guys' interactions. And I'm so sorry the whole time.
Also, today I'm gonna just be full transparent, and I'm gonna still be transparent as the show goes. Before the show started, I literally made a joke. I was like, "Oh yeah, remember that like Fire and Blood lore video I was working on?
Yeah.
I forgot to finish it. It's literally just a minute left."
That was a complete hot mess, and I love
I
it
love
so much.
it.
When
It
it's
was
finished,
awesome.
eventually, in like I don't know, a year from now, I don't know whenever we're gonna get back to
Dude, I'm telling you, that
we
would
will
be-
get. I think we're gonna get back to that after Celebration. There's a lot
Yes.
going on here the next couple of months. We're just gonna be so going.
Yeah, so for
gone,
those of
so-
you who weren't aware, we were going to do a Song of Ice and Fire lore videos, specifically on Fire and Blood.
Mhm.
But with how busy we've been these few months with Mandalorian and Bad Batch and all of the
Holidays.
other things that have been coming up, we kind of had to postpone it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, in due time, it'll release. It'll release.
Yep. But JJ,
But-
where can the good people follow you?
Yes, hi again. Thanks for having me. I love doing these. I'm always happy when you invite me. So thank you again. I'm very happy to see you guys. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram. I'm back on Instagram now. But Twitter and TikTok are the main sources where I make content under Lady Dragon JJ. Right now, I'm in a Song of Ice and Fire mode. That's where my content has been sort of for the past year or so. So I'm trying to kind of diverge it in different directions. There's a lot of good stuff coming out, but also Star Wars. Mandalorian is on my top of the top list right now. I'm so excited. So, and I've been rewatching some of the older shows. Like Rebels, I started that like 2 weeks ago.
There you go.
Yeah. Just Rebels is still my favorite animated series of all time. It's better than Clone Wars. I don't know if that's controversial
Thank
to say.
you.
So
I love
I
it. I love
not
it.
really.
Yes.
I love
it,
it.
Yes.
it
I
has
love
my
it.
heart.
That's why I love you, girl.
you
I love
too.
it. Rebels is my
Love
favorite
it.
show as well. So
Oh,
you're
it
not alone,
is.
JJ.
It is
And I'm sure
so
many other
good.
people would say that Rebels is their favorite show. So
Clone
Not-
Wars
Rebels
is
is superior.
Not a crazy
okay,
opinion.
hey, hold on. Rebels is the superior show.
Okay,
I just like Clone Wars more.
that's
yeah,
fair.
and that's your opinion.
Biased Anakin fan and
You are
President
shut
Luke.
up.
You can
I just
argue
connect
the
to those-
opposite, and it's
I
still
connect
okay.
to those characters more.
Luke,
All
you're
right,
Nothing
entitled
wrong
I'm
to
with
your
sorry I
wrong
don't
opinion.
connect with Ezra Bridger. Okay.
Well, you don't have to tarnish it.
Sorry, we need to get him out of here. He has an L
See,
take.
and this is what you should have did during the
Whoa.
reaction.
all right. All right.
Yeah, Luke. Only one of the shows has Hera, so
That's it.
Nah,
That's-
Exactly.
Chopper, Kanan. I'm sorry.
that's fair.
JJ speaking facts right now. I'm sorry, Luke.
That's fair. That's fair.
Superior character.
mhm.
All right.
All right.
Anyway.
JJ, thanks for coming on.
Thank
And
you for
our
having
fourth
me.
guest today, she's making her debut for our Rebel show. But you have seen her face quite a bit on our YouTube channel. Let's bring in Kari at Estarguar's Tia. Oh, wait.
Hey, what's up?
Luke was just eager, okay, Char?
I did the
Listen,
intro,
what's
so you
going on?
just click a button. Come on,
Hey,
let me
hey,
do it.
I thought I was button guy.
The production quality here is immaculate. You know.
I mean,
Anyways.
we got Bark
Gonna
the
bring the drama. I
dog.
swear to
We're
God.
just,
I
we're just
mean,
trying
I'm
to,
here.
we're just trying
I'm
to
here.
just
Tia, how are you?
Yes, I'm great.
It's
I'm
been a
so
long
excited to
time.
be here with you guys. Actually, doing the podcast instead of just reaction videos.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
especially
Been a
for
very long
Rebels,
time.
because yes, I will say that Rebels is my favorite Star Wars show. It's
Thanks.
like
There are more of
See,
us.
that's my
at the
girl.
top.
That's my.
You know,
that's my
Kanan.
boo.
This is why
Kanan.
we get
You
along.
already know, Ryan. Kanan, come on now. Kanan, the best Jedi.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
By far. But Tia,
By
where
far.
can the good people find you on social media?
So you could get me on TikTok and on Twitter at Star Wars Tia, and then Instagram I am Kari Skywalker.
Awesome.
Where you can find
Yes.
me. And I do, Star Wars, but also all types of other content and a lot of thirsty videos and stuff. So yeah.
And also,
Those are
Tia,
my
I noticed
favorites.
yesterday, since Star Wars made a TikTok, they followed you back on TikTok. I noticed that. That was
Listen,
really cool.
yesterday was an event. It was like a whole event yesterday. All right. Star Wars TikTok had everybody in a frenzy.
Literally Star
And-
Wars TikTok.
Listen,
You know what? If I see a reduction of thirsty videos from you guys, I will flip the f out.
No, we need a
Listen.
full send. We need a full send on Star
listen,
Wars.
that's
Wow.
probably one of the reasons they follow me, because they know I'm crazy with my Vader sips. So I mean, I can't disappoint. You know what I'm saying? I
You
mean,
can't.
my boo's right here. I can't.
Yeah, awesome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you guys. I'm happy.
It's been
to
a
be
long
here.
time.
Thank
And
you.
also, I
know.
mean, since Hot D ended, I mean, it's been what, like 5 months?
Yeah, I
since?
know, man.
House
I
of
miss you
Dragons.
guys.
Depaul.
Yeah, can't get over.
Did I miss
Or
something?
House of the Dragon. No, it's
House
House
of
of
the
the
Dragon.
Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Every time you said hot,
I didn't want to
D,
say nothing. I
Ryan's
didn't
just
want to
like,
say
hell
anything.
y'all
Which one
been
was I?
No, wait, hold on.
It's been getting hot on Pod Ones, okay, DePaul? Don't question it.
This is
Well,
what
not that
DePaul
hot.
I have not been
The
invited to the
Paul's the
party.
last one that's questioning anything right now. Okay?
All right, but hold on here.
Hey,
So
hey,
we have
DePaul
a-
isn't the first one that has been confused with the acronym. It's fine.
We are in the presence of one of the 51 people that is being followed by Star Wars on TikTok.
That is true.
That's canon.
Canon.
Tia.
Baby.
That
Third
so-
follow. Okay, I'm a brag because I have to brag. I
Alright.
was the third follow. Thank you very much.
Damn, the third.
That's
Yep.
that's
impressive.
wild. That's
Yeah, I
wild.
mean,
I mean,
that's-
now we have to watch what we actually say on here because now she's affiliated, and we can't.
It's like,
we
listen.
can't. We can't.
Luke,
like,
you
Nah,
missed
hell
the
no.
whole
You know, I'm
JJ
gonna come on
ramble.
and like, yo, let's go.
You
Say
missed
it.
the whole
We need to
JJ
get
ramble.
unhinged.
We can't switch up on Pod Ones.
Exactly. We need
gotta
to stay
stay the same.
unhinged.
We gotta stay.
That's
we
why
gotta
they love
stay on
us.
him. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but Tia, thank you for coming on. I'm glad
Thank
that you were
guys.
here.
It's
But
very,
our
very happy to be here.
fifth and final guest, she's making her debut. She's a newcomer to Podwans, and I'm glad to have her today to talk about Shroud of Darkness. And all right, let's just cut to the chase. Let's bring in Jill at Leia It Down.
Hey everybody!
How's it
Hi.
Oh, it's going.
going? Are you? Wait, hold on. So I always ask this for newbies. Is this your first podcast?
It's my first Star Wars podcast.
All right,
Now,
we'll take
I
that.
will warn
We'll take that.
in advance. I was a theater major,
Oh no. Oh,
so you can find me on several theater podcasts.
do you want to go ahead? Do you want to go ahead and plug those? You definitely can.
I
Yeah.
absolutely will not, because it's called drama school for a reason, my friends. Listen, burn all those bridges. That's why I'm on Star Wars now. You know what I mean? No.
Oh, man. I can already tell with this group, it is going to be an absolute clusterfuck.
It's already a clusterfuck.
In all of the,
I mean, hot D Charles here just like throwing.
I just tried to-
Isn't that Pod One's brand?
I'm dying. I'm
Tia.
gonna
Oh.
die.
I'm just trying to imagine what it's like for the Spotify listeners or the audio listeners. They're just like, what the hell is going on this podcast?
Are they okay? Are they okay?
So
Yes.
Jill, where can people find you, or do you just not want to say?
I would no. I mean, thank you for asking that question. But no, I'm relatively new. I'm mostly just on TikTok at Leia It Down. If you get it, it was between that and Chewbacca It Up. You know what I mean?
Chewbacca what?
But Exactly. But, you know, I decided that one was too on the nose. So,
Oh my god.
so yeah, I'm gonna lay it down, and Jilly Miranda on YouTube and Instagram. What am I? Good God, it's just Jilly Miranda. Yeah, those two are kind of Star Warsy. You know, I still have those relatives on my Instagram, so I am still afraid to post because you know I'm blooming, I'm blossoming. You know.
Okay.
Thriving.
Yeah. This is like honestly, I have never had like an intro where it's just like you have everybody cackling. I know this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
You gotta repeat that Chewbacca username again, please. I'm begging. Please.
Listen. There are these things called innuendos, right? And when we like to play, lay it down. It's feminist, okay? It's not as on the nose as Chewbacca it up. Though I will say my childhood nickname was Wookiee, so I was feeling a little more sentimental towards that one. But also my parents are on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, should I really associate my childhood nickname with that? It's okay, we don't talk about it.
Well, the girlfriend
Hey, Kyber!
she's approving of this already, and we haven't even started.
I mean, for me, it's hard to top the clone fucking episode with Danielle and Remy. That one's at a high tier.
I feel like if we had Jill for that, it would have been just
chaos,
unhinged.
Oh,
unhinged.
Jill's face when she heard that, she's like,
"The what episode?"
Care to repeat
I'm here
that?
for it.
All right, I'm here for
This
it.
is why Swagman will never follow us on anything, because we push that envelope a little.
I will admit this publicly. Whenever I was saying Swagman, I was like, "Where the fuck did that come from?"
All right.
I caught up on the lingo, Hereth. Come on now.
I've been busy.
All right.
And Jill, thank you for coming on. You've already been a delight to have already. So I'm excited for this next 45 minutes or so. So
thank you guys so much for having me.
Luke, go ahead and give us our icebreaker question.
All right. So go from happy to kind of sad. With this episode, we get a lot of big hitting kind of reveals, and this episode seems to get people the most. Besides maybe a certain Jedi dying in season 4, and
spoilers, man. What's wrong with the show? You spoiled the whole show for me.
Jesus. All right.
Oh, no.
You guys can only take one moment. What in the Sam Hill?
Ryan, how old are you, Ryan? Because
I'm 41.
I'm 41 too, so we don't.
Hey! Here's the thing, though. I look 41. You don't look 41. You look like you're in fucking 20s.
Listen, this is concealer, right? My bags are like screaming right now.
I can conceal this.
Oh
my god!
Fuck, this is really great.
Come on, hit us with the icebreaker question.
So, what is the scene from Star Wars that really makes you cry throughout the entire catalog? What is the one that when you watch, you cannot hold back tears?
We'll start with Jill first.
Yeah, we'll start with the newbie.
Yeah, with the newbie.
Well, the first one that obviously came to mind was the "You're my brother, Anakin," right? But that one didn't make me cry until I was a little older, right? Because, you know, I aged into it, you could say, from Revenge of the Sith. You guys know what I'm saying. Now it makes me weep.
That's a good one.
As they say. I'm a prequels kid, so I think I'll stick with that guy. I mean, since Tales of the Jedi has come out too.
Ooh.
Oh my god, so good. I just got my sister to watch it. I will say I wasn't as emotional about Padme's death. Sorry, Padme, until more recently. But the Padme funeral got me for sure. Seeing Ahsoka there. Yeah, and Yaddle, you guys. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Where was she?
She was dead.
More
Luther
stories.
was giving her the piece.
She was dead. Anyway, Tia.
Oh man. I think the one that makes me cry every single with edits, with anything, it's Kanan's death. Once they put once that song comes on, that melody, and you just see that, and then when they look at each other, I'm just
The force rewards him one last time to see the love of his life.
Yes,
Oh my.
yes. It's like poetry.
It rhymes.
Meaningful poetry, man.
It's poetry.
So that
it
one,
rhymes.
any single time that I see that.
Also, the fact that the logo turns white, it's like what the fuck, Rebels?
That's
Anyway,
Karaoke.
Cal.
Talk about karaoke.
And
No,
ironically, I love Anakin.
Wait,
so
we
there you
do not talk about karaoke on the podcast.
Hey, what
No
happened at the karaoke bar
talk.
stays at the
Stays
karaoke bar. Okay.
Yeah, that was a night.
Cal.
I don't know what happened that night because I wasn't there.
Yeah. Maybe next time, buddy.
Maybe
Anyway.
next time.
Listen,
baby.
London is coming up. So
London, baby.
we can talk about it then.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, Nick. Absolutely.
Honestly, that
Every
one
time.
is pretty tough. But I think I've watched Rebels so many times now that like
You're just so immune
I'm
to
a
it.
little desensitized to it. But honestly, like the one scene that I always am like fighting back tears and like getting the short, quick breaths and trying not to like tear up too much is probably unexpected. It's the scene from Force Awakens when Leia comes off of the drop ship and Han first locks eyes with her.
Yes.
Every
Oh,
time. And
Yeah.
Leia's theme comes on every single time. I cry consistently.
That is-
Ever since I saw it in theaters to now, every single time I see that scene, I get very choked up.
It's because
And I love that scene
taste.
too. It's like because when Han and Leia see each other again, Han's like, "You changed your hair," and then she's like, "Same jacket, no, new jacket." And then in episode 8, Leia's like, "It's like I know what you're gonna say, I changed my hair. It looks nice that way."
Oh, goosebumps!
It's
my
just
god!
it's,
my god!
and that's
I have
just it, right?
chills.
It is exactly
Chills.
that. It's
Yeah.
chills, goosebumps every single time. Never
Yeah.
fails to just like rip my heart to shreds.
Beautiful moment. Loved it.
Ryan.
Paul, what was your moment?
So I'm not.
You better not say fucking yub nub.
I thought about saying that, but I didn't call him. That's celebration time. That's a celebration.
He's sad because they cut it out.
Yeah, he's going into the dark web to go find the original theatrical cuts in 4K. He's like,
I'm
where
not
is
that
it?
old. But I'm saying.
You know what? I was thinking about looking online and going on eBay and find like original like DVD one like, with Yup Nub on it. But
Their fan restorations. Look it up. There you go. I just plugged that for the first time. Yes, there's 4K ones from 35mm prints.
See, that's the song you should have sang at the karaoke bar.
Yes.
Yup
Oh,
Nub.
Yup, nup.
Right.
I just imagine the ball kicking the legs and going.
Oh man.
I mean, that'd be different. That'd be different than him being on top of the chair, but you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. I might show up in the Ewok costume. Who knows? I mean,
That
but
was
she
so
ain't
good.
here.
Uh-oh.
Hey, my
Uh-oh,
wife's into
wicked.
furries, so
Look
you
at
know.
that.
You got to think for Chewbacca.
All right.
Oh, that's funny.
But for me, like seriously, I'm not really a crier. That's some old childhood stuff going on. But
Your therapy
the
session.
one thing the first time I actually ever cried on Star Wars was Force Awakens in the theater when the first Lucas arts came on. I couldn't hold it back. I was so
Same.
excited.
Yeah.
And like my wife was like,
100%
"Are you
same.
crying?" And I was like, "Shut up, leave me alone." In the moment,
Aw.
I don't like what's going on. But
Yeah.
the scene that actually really hit and hurt every time was when Han got stabbed in the fucking in the gut. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh no!" And
Yeah.
I'm not even a big Han fan, but I was like, "You don't do that to your daddy." That's
My
my
thing with that one is when Chewie just screamed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what took me
I
up.
was
I
like,
was like,
Chewie.
my eyes get welled up for
Kills
that.
me.
When Chewie did that, I was like, "Oh, no!" I felt that. That's a gut-wrenching scream from Chewbacca. So
And
that
like,
part
and also
there,
Chewbacca, like the screen or like the the cry that he had in episode 9 too. That was pretty powerful as well.
With Leia.
Oh.
Yeah,
And he's like, "Oh, my friends have gone," and then he just drops on his knees and just like, it was a sad
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
I
But-
only wish that I didn't know that Harrison Ford came back specifically to die. It's just it takes away from like,
Yeah,
some moment.
It does.
He was
It really
like, I'm
does.
done with this character. He needs to be killed off, and they found the
Yep.
most traumatic way to do it by
But-
The only way I'm coming
patricide.
back is if I die.
But so I wanted to re-emphasize what Depaul said about like when the logo popped up. I still
Yeah.
remember the feeling when Force Awakens, like with the theaters, and like you're like, oh my god, we're seeing a Star Wars film for the first time in
Like,
forever.
For a lot of us,
Honestly,
we never
after
thought we would see
prequels.
another one again.
Oh,
Exactly,
absolutely.
dude.
Yeah.
So it was.
Yeah.
I
was
saw.
just-
I didn't go see the
amazing.
originals. I grew up on originals, okay, and I didn't go see the originals in the movie theater because I was still too young. 81. So
They haven't
Return of the
Gandalf.
Jedi. It was so they're already out, but I saw
The
that's why I
special
was
editions
introduced to
were
it.
coming out in the 90s, right?
In the
special
90s.
edition?
Yes,
Mhm.
correct. And so I saw the prequels in the theater,
Mhm.
and it was cool. I mean, I was a teenager and shit like that in high school, but I'm like, okay.
I
So
love that shit back.
we
in
just
the
didn't
day.
think. I just
It was
no
just
one thought
excitement. It was just
Yes.
excitement, not emotional.
that was
Because
done.
as a teen, it was just like
Yep.
crazy.
Right.
But now when you're older, it's like
It just
It
hit.
hits different.
emotional. Yeah,
The
way too
nostalgia
much.
is
so
like, oh
much
my
different.
god, like my childhood again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But all right, so yes, that's me.
JJ?
Probably shouldn't come too much surprise. It's always the same scene for me. It's Luke Skywalker and the twin sons, both of them.
Yeah.
The first one in A New Hope, when with the music and
Good
him
one.
staring, sort of yearning for an adventure.
Yep.
I'm in a puddle every single time. No scene moves me more than that. And then in The Last Jedi, when he sort of becomes one with the Force by looking at the twin
The
sons.
start and the finish.
That,
I
that
am-
comes
Yeah.
that that
I'm
for
done.
me-
It makes me undone.
I
Completely.
think for those two scenes, I think especially for The Last Jedi, I think it's the way they use the Force theme
Mhm.
is,
Yeah.
is what really
100%.
gets me. Because I'm not a huge Luke guy, but that moment does bring me to tears.
Well,
But like in the
Binary
facial,
Sunset.
it's so good. And like the facial features, if you're, I mean, obviously Mark Hamill was much younger. That was like, what's 1979. But the way he's looking in The New Hope at the twin sons, there's almost like this, I want more.
Yep.
And then you go back to The Last Jedi. This is an older person who's been through a lot of shit. And then all of a sudden he feels that I did what I had to do. I did my
Yep.
part.
Yep.
And
Like
it's time
that,
to
I don't want
go.
anymore.
It's time
yeah.
to go. And it
Yeah.
was just, I am undone every
Full
single time.
circle,
Like,
man. That shit was
full
cool.
circle. Like I
And-
will fight people regarding that scene because it's that fucking beautiful and
And
meaningful.
the novelization for Last Jedi enhances that scene way more because you get the line from A New Hope from Obi-Wan restated again saying, "Let go, Luke. It's time."
Yes.
Mhm.
See, you
I
made it better.
personally-
You made it better.
See,
If
I
If they would have
personally-
done that in the
my head-
movie, I think. Oh,
my
man.
headcanon is that it's Anakin saying it to him instead of Obi-Wan. But it makes
They
more
don't
sense.
say who it is, but it's Obi-Wan because it's the callback to A New Hope.
Yeah, it's Obi-Wan, but I choose it for it to be Anakin because I think that's a
Biased Anakin fan again.
I was gonna
Well,
say because
family-
you're
family-
a simp for Anakin, maybe.
Oh,
well. Mine will go. Will make sense when I say mine.
I'm gonna snipe Luke because I think Luke and I are thinking the exact
I
same moment.
swear to
Hereth,
God.
Hereth, what is your sad boy
I
moment?
swear to God.
I've been thinking about this since you asked the question.
Is it Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan episode 6.
I knew it.
You get your traits from your mother and your
That's
father.
Like second close.
Oh, actually, no, that's not
Second
mine.
clue.
Mine
That isn't yours? What?
No. Mine is in that same episode though.
That is that's such a good moment in the show. It just that always
Great
gets
writing.
me. Great writing, great acting, amazing score, big Katie Holt. Oh my god.
Oh, this is good.
I mean Natalie Holt.
Night Holt, my bad. Why don't I say Katie? I'm tired. My brain's just not working today. You see that later in the episode.
Yeah, Char.
Luke, you already know this. Hereth, you already know this.
Oh,
It's when
Oh,
Yoda lifts
oh.
the X-wing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yoda lifts the X-wing.
Oh, I
But
thought
hey,
you were gonna do the meme. I thought you were gonna 100% do the
I
meme.
ball every time.
Hey, no, wait, hold on. I will say
Now
when
that is
Qui-Gon,
character
when
development in that scene.
Qui-Gon,
No.
when
No, that's what I thought he was gonna do. I thought he was
you
gonna
were
do the
gonna
bit.
say
I thought you were gonna do the bit.
I thought it was Qui-Gon.
No.
Your
thought it
soul
was
left your
Qui-Gon
body
too.
at that moment.
Char, I'll do the Char. I'll do a Char recreation.
Here.
He got up. Was like,
No, he's like
He dropped the headphones even.
Char, you were that meme. I'ma simply pass away.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I first saw it, yeah, it was an emotional wreck, and I felt like that. I felt like God took me, but
Jesus literally took the wheel at that moment, guys. Go on.
took my laptop, took my chair. That's why I got up. But like as I keep on watching that, like sometimes I would go back and rewatch that scene in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'd be like, it's a cool moment now. It's like a very like heartwarming moment. But every single time I watch that scene where Yoda lifts the X-wing out of the water,
It's so good.
I am always in tears. There's so much purpose and meaning behind that scene.
Is it? I feel like it also is like with what JJ was saying with The Last Jedi and also with New Hope. I feel like John Williams' score also helps with that scene.
Yoda and the Force.
And yeah, it's crazy.
Amazing.
Music is the character of these stories.
Yeah,
like always has.
I was about to say for like everybody's moment, everybody's also talking about the music because it plays such a key part to all of these moments.
Star Wars
resonates with you.
I've always thought about this. In Star Wars, we've never had a bad composer. They all have been amazing.
Yeah.
In their own different ways. You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna make mine short. It is I Am Sorry, Anakin in Obi-Wan Kenobi. That absolutely breaks me. Or if you really know Pod 1's lore, it's the entire first trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi is when
No, no. That's not the true Pod 1's lore in my mind. It's you crying in my hotel room for 5 minutes straight. That one is the more of the cry, but no one saw it. It was only for the people in the room. It didn't happen. Atlantis can confirm it happened because she was right next to you.
Yeah. I was inconsolable, but that's
my parents could say that it happened too.
We'll talk about that episode at a later time. But
since we've gone through every single one about our sad boy moment of Star Wars, let's go through the chat and see what we have here. So we have Kenny who says Five's dying. Seriously, never cried so hard in my life. Next to Kino Loy's I Can't Swim.
Yeah.
And then you have Peps. We're saying Satine's moment hurts my heart, and also the finale of season 7.
Damn.
And then Aiden says the saddest moment is when we
That's what I was laughing at earlier, Cal, when you were talking about the Kanan death. It was Aiden's comment.
That's fucking.
That's a glub shitto, right?
That is the most Aiden's comment in the history of Aiden comments. Can we not deny that?
But
Pep also said when Yoda showed up in The Last Jedi too. That was also a very powerful moment.
One of the greatest scenes in Star Wars, period, in any medium.
Yep. But let's get into the story of Shroud of Darkness. We get it. They can confirm. Anyway, so basically the story is Ahsoka, Kanan, and Ezra go to the Lothal Temple. They are all shown different visions. Ezra communes with Yoda. Ahsoka has her vision and her realization, like the final realization that Anakin is Vader. And Kanan is able to finally become a Jedi Knight. And then they escape, and then Kari's favorite shows up, all guy boss and everything. But my first question, are 3 Jedi / Force users, because Ahsoka's not a Jedi in this episode. Well, in this like part of the timeline.
This era.
Yeah. I don't know why. There's so much going on. We're 30 minutes into this. We're finally getting to this, so it's just like, all right, we're gonna eventually get there. Kanan is so we see that they have different experiences, right? Kanan, in particular, is building on his entire arc of season 1 of letting go. My question is why does the Force manifest itself into the Grand Inquisitor instead of maybe Depa Billaba or someone that he might be a little bit more familiar with?
Because he's been facing the Inquisitors for 2 seasons, so it's only natural for him to face the face of the enemy, and the revelation of the Inquisitors owns the origins of it. But I also think the whole point of that scene was foreshadowing of Kanan's death.
Well, and I also
So,
think
yeah.
it's kind of foreshadowing of Ezra's,
Mm.
not Ezra's death, but Ezra's playing with the dark side in season 2.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It would, I think it's a subversion of expectations. I hate using that terminology, but you're right. Like, you would expect maybe his master Force Vision to show up, or somebody, but it's an Inquisitor, which that's been his sort of antagonist the entire time. So to me, it made sense. I don't know.
I think because also he's the one that keeps on taunting him about,
Mhm.
oh, you're gonna fail Ezra, and Ezra's
Mhm.
gonna go to the dark
Mhm.
side, and
The true
obviously that's the
test.
same. Yeah, and that's the same thing that happened while the Inquisitor was alive. He kept on, just going after Kanan, and that was his like little pebble in his shoe type of thing,
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why he was the one that manifested in the
Mhm.
temple, because it's the same thing. He was pushing Kanan. The Force was pushing Kanan to his limit to see if he would, falter or not. So thankfully he ended up, passing the test or whatever it was. But
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why. Mhm.
It's basically all of them facing their own afflictions at the point. You know what I mean? With Ahsoka, sort of the vision of Anakin to what he's become. Then you have Ezra with Yoda in this plane, sort of trying to figure out what's his purpose, within the Force itself.
Yeah.
Where is he going to swing? You know what I mean? And then with Kanan facing his biggest opponent at that point, because they are the ones that hunted his master. Like, that's what, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's who killed all of the Jedi. So
I completely agree. For me, it was always about like, where is their current trauma stemming from?
Yeah.
And for Kanan, it's failure, his past combatants, what it means to be a Jedi, even failing Ezra as well. You have Ahsoka with everything with Anakin, and then you have Ezra with the unknown and like what he should be doing, what's the goal, what's his direction, and stuff like that. So it's touching on all three of their fears in a very potent way.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Everybody touched on some good points, and
This is what happens when you have 5 people.
yeah,
True.
I get it. So I mean, and all valid. So yes, it's just the Force hit, especially with Kanan. I would say this one with him in particular. He went through, his was more. We saw more of his compared to seeing more of Ezra's. I mean, it was nice seeing Yoda and the interaction like that, but we got more from Kanan, with his vision, what was going on, and it hit on so many levels, like you said, his past, his present, and his future.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, great. So and it's funny how the Force works like that. It's like, okay, hey, I'm going to show you all this and make you face all this, and are you going to break? Are you going to fail? What are you going to do? And when he just kind of gave into the Force and like, okay, I'm just gonna give into it again. All right, great. You pass. Get your ass up, you Jedi.
And when you look at all these Jedi tapping into the Force in order to get answers, they never really get straight answers. It's always some sort of a test. They're always facing something, and they have to figure out on their own, which that's how you learn instead of just being told the path. You have to walk it, and they just kind of give you kind of little crumbs of information here and there, like, well, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Jill?
No, I feel you.
I was thinking about the Grand Inquisitor too a lot this episode, or just the Inquisitors in general, I guess. When I was rewatching it, I was like, is this the Grand Inquisitor's like Jedi Force ghost, like preserved in the Force, like Anakin's is in his young form? Because then at the end, the Inquisitors are like Grand Inquisitor, like they see him. And I was just thinking, like, these guys used to be Jedi. This is crazy. And I don't know. I would focus on Kanan's arc too, specifically, because it reminded me of Cal Kestis and that thing of the Padawans who escaped, got away because of their master sacrifices, but them never feeling worthy, or I guess, like the Inquisitors really have that over them where they can be like, you're not a real Jedi, because you're just a baby Jedi. And then he gets knighted, just like when Seer knights Cal in Fallen Order. It's just like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna be interesting because we might get Quizzy in Grand Quizzy in
I
Survivor.
thought it was in the Celebration trailer, but I thought it was clarified. It was just same species as a senator in Coruscant.
We'll see. I think it would make sense because
I thought it made sense too.
This game is going to be taking pretty coherently with the Kenobi series.
Plus, we had the fifth brother, and are going to have the fifth brother in Battle Scars.
Yeah, exactly. So it all kind of lines up to where it can be possible. Now we're going to talk about Ahsoka because Ahsoka's I feel like this is edited perfectly in a lot of TikTok edits when it has to come with like Anakin. Whenever there's like an edit of Darth Vader Anakin, there's usually this scene that shows up, right? Specifically, so it is revealed to Ahsoka that Vader is Anakin. At first she is devastated, but then later on, when she's running out of the temple, like just by herself, she says the line, "There's still a way." Why do you think, or what do you think went through her mind that she had that sense of hope?
I never interpreted that moment like she was sure that Anakin was Vader. I thought that she almost had a little bit of doubts. Like, this is the first time that maybe a doubt is being confirmed, but I don't think she actually believes it 100%. Maybe that's why she said that. Like, I never interpreted that scene as a concrete evidence he is Vader.
1,000,000% what JJ said. Because I always think back to Siege of Mandalore when Maul is telling her that Anakin's going to fall to Palpatine. She's like, no, there's no way.
No way. Not a chance.
No, my master, there's no way. And then it's Twilight of the Apprentice is where she gets it confirmed. It's like, oh my God, that's Anakin.
Correct.
That's when she truly shows how devastated
when she slashes like the helmet and sees through the eyes. Even through snip eyes, she sees it. You know, I thought it was confirmed fully.
That's what I thought the I'm no Jedi meant. Is that, oh my God, it's Anakin. Let's go. I'm gonna fight him.
For me, this was because, especially since her back is to him, like in that vision sequence for it.
Right, yeah.
It was more of, you don't know what I've become, as far as like what I have done to this whole, Jedi Sith, this whole balance of light and dark and stuff like that. She doesn't know that he's Vader necessarily, but she senses something happened and it brought, the darkness that they're dealing with, right? And that's why I thought that line that there's still a way was her reliance on Ezra and Kanan, that like there's still light out there. There's still a way that we can fight this. It wasn't necessarily there's still a way to like save Anakin or anything like that. But for me, it was more of there's still a way to fight this.
Yeah,
it's not like completely over.
Yeah, because the whole point is to fight for. I'm sorry, Tia. No, the whole point, like what Kenan was saying, like we can't establish rebellion until because we're constantly on the attack mode. We're constantly running away. We have to meet in secret places so we don't expose our people and all of that. So there is a way, to get away from, I think maybe Inquisitors even, like to kind of escape that enemy finally. I don't think it was a reference to Anakin himself. It just didn't make sense right now in that context, because I can't with certainty say that I interpret that scene as she knowing that Anakin is Vader. So
I agree.
I think also I took that scene also as like the Force kind of giving her like foresight of what was to come, because she was going to end up, fighting Vader in the future. So it was just like, just a foreshadowing of, you have to face your guilt. You have to face, maybe what you've been blaming yourself this whole time for what happened with Anakin, which is exactly what that was her, I guess, lesson in the temple. It was like, you have to let go of that guilt. You can't keep blaming yourself. And you're going to have to face that once you face Vader. And then boom, that whatever happened in, the last episode. Yeah.
Jill Ryan.
Jill Ryan. I was so I love that you guys are talking about does she have any inkling, is this the confirmation of her knowing that Anakin is Vader? Because I paid a lot more attention to actually the line it's toward the beginning of the episode when she's watching the holo recording of Anakin doing the training exercise, and Ezra asks her, do you know what happened to him? She doesn't answer his question. She's like, well, the last time I saw him, he was doing this. Not really solid answer. So I was
Yeah.
He was running to help
Yeah,
something
to
with
save the
Senate-
chancellor.
yeah,
Yeah.
the
Running to help
chancellor.
the chancellor, yeah.
To help the chancellor. Yeah, that was the last thing that she
Which
said.
is awesome because with the clone episode and this episode, it's like because this is their first inclination into the Siege of Mandalore because this is their first not first, I would say second confirmation that this is an event that happened, which
Yeah.
is really cool in hindsight if you watch it in release order.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that like your heart knows, but your brain can't rationalize, so you just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Been there.
And even and even with being presented with that vision and stuff like that, she doesn't truly accept it until she is face to face with the problem.
Yeah.
So I would feel okay. So I might be the opposite. I
Okay.
feel like this is her confirmation, but I do like what Cal was saying that she's kind of like in denial because I still believe when she shows up and confronts Vader, she says in Twilight of the, I can't remember exactly what she says.
My master could never I forget the exact line
I don't know, but like when she cuts open the helmet, she sees the face, she says Anakin. It's not in a shock. It's more of like sorrow and like.
But I also see it as like sad comfort, like oh my god, it's him.
Yeah, sad confirmation.
I think that is I think she knew that it was him because you also have to remember in Siege of Lothal, he tapped into her mind, and they had that connection. So
that's the shock. That's the original. That's the initial like what?
Yeah. That's the shock. This is like another push forward of you know what I've become.
But I also see it.
That moment,
sorry,
like I'm gonna go back to what Hereth said, like the way she said Anakin, it was like, come on, no way. Like that's sort of what it felt like. Oh no moment.
Yeah, like this can't be true.
This can't be true.
This might be a weird comparison, but like this actually might be the right comparison. Ahsoka is like going through the 5 stages of the grief with Anakin.
Oh yeah.
It's the shock of like, oh my god, this just happened. The denial, like this is the denial of like, oh my god, there's no way it can be him. And then she still has the denial till Twilight of the Apprentice, and then it's that anger, bargaining, and then acceptance.
You don't always experience them in the same order every time either.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. You're very right. Correct.
Yep. But Ryan.
Well, what are we talking about again? Ahsoka?
Anakin vision, yeah.
That's man. So her vision is just like I don't want to say I don't think it was towards Anakin, but I think it's towards just I want to say yeah, because she was struggling with that. Her everything that she was in that episode, it was related to Anakin. It was related to Vader. Like in the beginning when they first saw her meditating or looking at, she was meditating, looking at and having the holocron play of Anakin's training. So it was Anakin and Ahsoka related situation, and then she heard his voice in the thing. So I'm leaning towards the foreshadowing. Is like, hey, no, this is more for her hope towards this can't be Anakin. There has to be a hope. Another thing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So that's the show, just foreshadowing. Hey, this is where this whole plot is going, and then going to the whole like, oh, there's still hope. She said, well, because Ahsoka's a little bit more advanced and she's not a Jedi, and she has the embodiment of the light side in her. People say, oh, this ain't. So she has a little bit more attunement, I would say, with the Force now that she is. I would say this, and so when she says, oh, there's still hope, there's still a way. That's just hope, but at the same time, it could have been she's seeing the future, and we don't know if she's dead or not, but it's the future of what's going to happen, So there's so much you can read into this and take from it, but I think her vision in this episode was more based around Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
And I love that this episode was like a pure mirror to the future moment when Ezra pulls her in the world between worlds, because he's sort of having his vision in a black plane, like in the giant circle, and then she's with Anakin. He's in a black plane of like space and time, whatever you want to call it. It's going to mirror back again in the twilight, which I think it's just pure poetry. Another circle of
And that's also when Kanan's going through a huge moment of growth as well, so it still even rhymes with Kanan as well.
And it's so sad, like he gets knighted to be a Jedi again, and we know that Luke is the last Jedi, so it's like foreshadow your own death. Is every time he gets knighted, I'm like, get up, don't do it. Don't, it's not fucking worth it. Leave the order, go be happy with Hera. That's bullshit. Every time. I hate it.
It's just tough too, because like as much as you want that, you also know that like Hera's in it for the fight. And it won't give up, won't back down either. So like as much as you're just go like live on a farm, you two, be happy.
Hindsight is 20/20 every time. That's how I feel with Anakin and the Revenge of the Sith.
100%.
Every time I watch that stupid ass
Make
movie,
better decisions, Anakin.
Just stay in the damn tower, damn it.
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different.
That you don't be hating. Don't be bashing on that movie. I love Revenge of the
Who's
Sith.
bashing that movie? It's literally top 3 for me.
Yeah, goddamn right it is. Goddamn right it is. All right.
Empire, Last Jedi, and The Revenge. Period. That's it. That's the Holy Trinity.
That's gonna be it for my section. Char?
Let's dive into the lore of Shroud of Darkness.
Don't be too proud of this podcast you've constructed. The ability to tell 3 interesting facts is insignificant next to the power of the law.
And we are here to talk about the lore
amazing.
of Shroud of Darkness. Today's lore is Jedi Knighting. So today's lore, in this episode, one of the pinnacle moments was Kanan being knighted by the Grand Inquisitor as a temple guard, as we've been talking about these past few minutes. There have also been many moments where Jedi have been knighted in Star Wars that we have seen or read. And also, this is the first time in canon that a Jedi is being knighted. We've seen this in the 03 Clone Wars, which is no longer canon, with Anakin losing his braid.
Go to night scene.
Love it.
So some examples of Jedi being knighted. Avar Kriss knighting Keith Trennis on Starlight Beacon. Seer knighting Cal in Fallen Order, as what Jill said earlier. Comac Vitus knighting his own Padawan, Wreath Silas. And then with the Jedi Military Integration Act, multiple Padawans were knighted at the same time to prepare for the upcoming Clone Wars.
Thank you, Mike Chen, for that one. Also, fuck you, Palpatine.
And there have also been Jedi who have...
Damn.
And
Have you been, brother? Where have you been in my life?
That was impassioned. Like, that was amazing.
Char.
Fuck you,
Char.
Palpatine.
All right. Char,
and there have also been Jedi who have declined being knighted, such as Lula Talasola.
Oh, yeah,
If you were to be knighted by any Jedi, who would it be, and what would the ceremony look like?
Oh,
Jill, newbie, you go first.
Oh my god, what a question. Well, of course, I immediately want to say Obi-Wan, but yeah, because Ahsoka's no Jedi, whatever. I'll fight with you. Because I think about all the time, you know, now that we have the Kenobi show, we know what he was doing for those 10 years in between, but you know, there's also the time after the Kenobi show. And I just think of like the Padawan at the beginning of the Kenobi show that shows up, you know, and literally just sees Obi-Wan and is like, hey, hi there. And he's like, no. And of course, then we know what happens to that guy. Sad. That was a sad day. And I don't know. I think in a beautiful meeting with Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, in between those years, because that's my favorite time period, is after Order 66 to A New Hope. I know we don't have a ton of stuff in there yet, but it's growing more and more. Just all the like, what's the word I'm looking for? Scattered Jedi.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, I would want to be a scattered Jedi that Obi-Wan just happened to find and adopt like a puppy.
Depaul?
First of all, I like that. The second of all, Quinlan Voss.
And what would the ceremony look like?
The ragtag.
Where would you be surrounded by? Who would be with you?
We'll be at Cantina. And he'll be like, man, you did a good ass job.
Hell yeah. There you go. Holy water.
Taking shots of Jawa juice.
I don't know how we got out of that shit.
Yo, am I a Jedi Knight today?
You are a knight now, motherfucker.
What do I do with this thing?
He just takes you to Dathomir, and it's just like, hey, you know where I went through hell? You're a knight now.
Like, pass the death sticks, man. This is crazy, right?
Oh god, I just also imagine the scenes from Dark Disciple when Obi-Wan shows up at the bar to Queen Quinlan, and it's like, yo, how's this shit going? Just imagine that with a knight. Hey, you're a knight now. Here, take a shot.
Right? Exactly. Hey, man, you had a good time. Like, it's almost like that Rick and Morty episode when they did that heist in the beginning and they got in the ship. They were saying like, oh. But they start breaking down, start crying, like, how did we not die?
Oh, Jesus, Ryan.
We died, but we survived. We died, but we survived.
Oh, my God. Cal?
For mine, I would honestly have to say Rey with the new Jedi Order. And like the scenery would literally just be, a very baby temple. Like the only other Jedi Master there is Finn, and it's just a very quiet, solemn thing that
Nothing
is
is
kind of
topping that
ushering in a new era.
Yeah,
I think would be really cool.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That sounds good right there.
I love it.
Really cool.
JJ?
Tia. I was gonna go Tia.
Wow, Char, just screw up the order of things. Goddamn.
Saving the best for
Go
last.
ahead, JJ.
Hey, what do you mean screwing up? This is my segment. Tia, what's your
All
segment?
right. Yeah.
Give Char the ego boost he needs.
Listen, I'm gonna go with Cal and I'm gonna go with Ray because I've been dying for new content post sequels, and I would love to be a part of that new, that new order of, you know what, we need to do shit differently.
Yes.
And we're gonna do shit differently. And I want to be able to survive this time and not, some chaos going on. And you know what? I would love it if I was surrounded by other Force users that we found, and we were all knighted at the same time. Because it's like new and exciting. Like, oh my God, you have the Force too, and you have the Force. Now we're all here together, and happy little family, knowing that we're gonna start this new, this new journey together. And definitely Finn has to be there because that's my boy. So that would be raise my girl.
There you go.
Awesome.
There you go.
JJ.
I'm gonna be knighted with T.
Oh yeah, Cal's gonna be there too.
Those are so hard to top. I swear to God, I'm gonna be maybe.
It's
corny
not a
little bit.
competition. It's just what you would like,
You know, Luke is my favorite Jedi ever, so I have to go with Luke Skywalker.
That means so much to me.
I love it.
Oh my God, no, not you, Eggman.
So JJ, let me ask you, which part of which timeline of Luke Skywalker?
I
We're
was gonna
talking
ask,
right after
which
Return of the
Luke?
Jedi. We're talking
I bet
about
it's
Jedi
Jedi.
Temple
I bet it's
Luke, and then what would your surroundings be? What would the setting be? Who would be there? What do you got?
See, I like fiery planets like Mustafar and Dathomir, but
Why would you do it there?
But
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's the
'Cause,
Targaryen her.
The hot D.
Exactly. But you know what?
The hot D.
But my recent travels last year have brought me to appreciate Octo more. I
There you
actually
go.
love that island so much. All of the creatures in it. I just want to chill with porgs, maybe cook one if I feel like it.
JJ's literally the meme of, have you seen the meme? It's like Finn and Rey switching places in Last Jedi. That's literally JJ.
Yeah.
Seriously. So I want to be with Book of Boba Fett, Luke. To talk.
Okay.
Yes. I love that one. And I want to talk to him about little baby Yoda. Have you discussed the traumas of my dad trying to kill you? So we have those conversations, and then we would just chill on the island, eat porgs, and I would.
Good timing, immaculate timing by
I'm telling
then.
you, looked delicious. What Chewie did on the ship, it was traumatizing, but it looked tasty. It was very
It did
shiny.
look tasty. I ain't
It
gonna
looked
lie.
tasty. So,
That's a
and
little tastery.
Yes.
So yes, I am on
Just
Octo
be
with
surrounded by a circle of
the
floating
Book of Boba
frogs.
Fett.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to go into like a secret cave like Ray did and see the future. You know, I want to be enlightened.
Ambitious.
With
Ambitious.
Shit in a cave.
I
Hell yeah.
like it. I like it. I like it.
I like
Luke.
caves.
I
What
am.
is your scenario? Who are you
I'm
being
gonna-
united by? Where?
I'm-
Every planet's in
I-
caves. Let's go.
I'm gonna go with Obi-Wan. But
The mullet
am
one. The
going-
mullet only.
But yeah. I am going to do it. The way I just said that just sounds a little
Trademarked by Brooke and Alanis, by the way. Gotta add that in.
Yeah.
Mullet Club.
Mullet Club. I'm gonna have him
Just
knight
picture
me
what it would look like.
in
picture
the
the
council.
landscape.
In the would you? I'm trying to tell
You
you.
can have Mahomes behind you.
I am not gonna have Patrick Mahomes as much as I love that
You
man.
can be the saber bearer for whoever is knighting you.
I thought it'd just be a Nebraska
God.
cornhusker logo.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
my god.
There you go. There you go. We are a Chiefs podcast.
No, we're not. No, we're definitely not.
Yes, we definitely are. Anyway.
Bill, 1-0, baby.
Yeah. There's a fucking asterisk to that Super Bowl, but we're not gonna get into that. So I'm gonna be in the middle of the council chambers, just like Anakin was in the 03 Clone Wars. They turn out all the lights. There's other masters there, and they light their lightsabers. And Obi-Wan is doing the knighting instead of Yoda.
Oh.
Yes.
So are you in Coruscant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Either that or we're in Kashyyyk and Buryaga knights me. That would also be another good one.
Human.
I'm surprised you didn't go with that, Luke. Even
I
though
know.
Wookiees are your thing, and then you got your hopes and dreams shattered at Galaxy's
Oh,
Edge.
Dexter Steiner, never fucking
Big love
lie.
shadow.
Oh, never mind. That nope. Me and Obi-Wan and
Damn
Dexter
it.
Steiner getting
That's
fucked
so
up.
perfect.
Oh,
Yep.
that is perfect.
You're gonna give
Obi-Wan, what do you know?
Are you united yet? And everyone's like, bro, you just
That's
ruined the
what it
surprise.
is. That's like right there.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a Nerf burger today.
Oh,
Yeah.
With our 2 shots.
Char.
Before I say mine, I want to go through the chat and see what they're
Wow, I love how you just skip over me. Just nice movement. I see that you on that.
saying. Hereth, what do you
Hereth?
want?
Oh.
Here, just go. You know what? Fuck this.
Go ahead, Hereth.
You guys are. If you know me by now, you definitely know I'm gonna say Kiari. I'm kidding. I'm not.
No, he doesn't get a say anymore.
You didn't even let me finish the joke. You didn't even let me finish the joke.
You said Kiadi
We don't
Mumbo
care
at the end
about.
of it.
We don't even.
The
we don't-
joke.
we don't-
I said the joke. I was leading you to a joke, Luke, and you jumped the gun. You know what? I was gonna fake you out. I was gonna do the I'm gonna take you this way and then go this way type thing, but you didn't let me go the other way. I was gonna go with
That was
Kill McVitus
amazing.
because I thought that would be amazing because
Ooh,
of
actually,
what
this
Char
is
was saying
good.
because it's so unorthodox. It would be an interesting situation. I don't know location wise. I don't really have anything dead set. Yeah, it's just
like
he's so
that.
out of the box. It'd be interesting.
That
but-
would be interesting.
But Luke, you didn't even let me finish the joke, which was I had a whole thing going, and then you were just like,
Well,
no.
Is my segment a joke to you?
Yeah, it is. Kind of.
Yeah, it is, Char. Did you listen to your
Have been a
lore
lot of
intro?
Oh,
Actually, no, wait, that other segment's a joke. Sorry, it's not this one.
Anyway.
You guys are brutal, man.
Anyway. Just don't.
So yeah,
don't-
you
don't
want
even.
Wreath? So wait, Hereth, who's around you? Is it just empty space? Is it just
It's
the-
it's a whole bunch of NPCs looking at Hereth being like, what?
No, NPCs aren't looking at me because I'm the NPC here.
Interesting.
Good take. Good take. I
right.
respect it.
But now let's look at the chat and see what they're saying. So Kenny said if he stayed as a Jedi, Count Dooku would be very proper, very momentous, and very fulfilling to see Dooku with proud face. I think so too. That'd be really cool.
That would be
I'd be knighted by Tar Vizsla.
Ooh,
Interesting.
interesting.
Very good
It's a
choice.
Mandalorian knighting. That'd be cool. And then Meet Up on Main said I would be knighted by Qui-Gon Jinn, then celebrate the whole night with Ahsoka Tano.
Yes.
Nice.
She's definitely celebrating. Oh.
But I would have to go for my knighting. I would probably say We'll go with Ahsoka.
Ooh.
I want Ahsoka
Where
to
you
knight me.
where you at?
The
Who's
top of
there?
the Senate building in Coruscant.
Oh,
Why
What?
there?
What?
That is
'Cause
like
it's
that
a
is
grand
like
gesture and dramatic, so it's
yeah, Jesus, that is very fucking true.
He's like
Actually,
on top of
you're
all
right.
these motherfuckers.
Because we're not
Yeah.
just the Senate, we're above the Senate. Okay.
Dude. With
Looking
CJ
down
Khaled,
upon
Char's the Sith Lord?
yeah, with
Yeah,
DJ
I want
Khaled,
to be
we the
knighted by
best.
Palpatine.
Also, Luke, I was gonna wait till you pull this up. Did Aiden get his body hijacked by Chase by any chance? Are we sure
don't
that there's
know.
loads of body
Never
snatching
got
going on? Is it a Freaky Friday situation even though it's Thursday? Is it just
I don't
happening
know.
earlier in the day?
I don't know. Meeber Gascon, that's a choice. But yeah,
But imagine
Char?
there's a clone Jedi that I knighted or knighted me by the right of the council and the will of the Force.
Oh my god, tomorrow.
Racha J, you might rise.
I love it. I
Jesus.
love it.
I thought you were gonna do Count
Omega
Dooku
could do
because
that.
you could pull out the impression.
Ooh, there
Omega
you
will be
go.
knighting you.
Not Guilford Godfrey. Not Guilford Godfrey.
Yes, so you gotta check out the
Not
meme.
Guilford Godfrey.
No.
Jedi
No.
Master Godfrey.
Oh Jesus!
but
Can we get
anywho-
that? Can we get that? Come on, just click
I
it.
don't want that.
But anywho, we have covered anybody. Does anyone else want to add what scenario would they would like in their knighting? If they want to make any changes,
Nope.
like
Bring
anything.
Ben Solo.
Oh, Jesus.
I will
Ben
never
Solo's
stop.
Ghost Force will be there. Oh, all the Ghost Force of Jedi's of past will be there with Rey.
Oh, and
Now
Cal.
that is
And
something.
Anakin is like, "That's my girl." I'm like, "Yes, I
There
am."
you,
Anakin."
there,
I would
Ewoks.
have
there
to
you go.
unalive myself to join Ben
Ewoks.
Like
Solo.
8 of us top.
Ewoks.
I'm coming, baby. Wait.
Paul really means jumping up for life at that point.
Oh
Good enough
yeah.
life.
But without further ado, since we are done with that's my only question for my lore segment today. Without further
Watch
ado,
Char,
let's-
as per usual, have to make the questions uneven. We all have two except for Char. It's always uneven. Welcome to part one.
hey, you quiet. So we can go to your
All
segment.
right, here we
titled
go.
Interconnectedness.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
All right, before we get started, I've been transparent as hell this entire episode.
No.
You didn't come up with a question, did you?
I know I came up with questions on the spot. I actually was impressed with myself
There you
there.
go. Hey.
I didn't watch the episode either because I've been
Oh, wow.
crazy busy all week. You know, you gotta fake it till you make it, baby.
We like improv.
That is
Hit
the
us.
way. That
Women know about that one.
Really?
We know. Trust me.
Oh my god. So
Swagman follows T and she made a comment like that.
Swagman is very disappointed in me for not watching the episode. But anyway,
Swagman ain't watching this. Anyway.
no, they're
go
not.
ahead. Go ahead.
I
you never
hope.
know.
I hope our deepest hearts. Anyway,
No, they should. Part one is awesome. They should watch it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
ripping off the band with question one. With the reveal of the Grand Inquisitor being a temple guard, do you think we'll ever learn how he fell? I know this is ironic because of the Order 66 discussion, but you know, let's just move past that.
I think we will in the like a standoff or one shot comic probably.
Yeah, I can see that. For
Definitely
sure.
not in any live action or anime.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
That's
important enough to
material.
warrant like a live action adaptation of it, but I do think that it is an interesting enough story that it deserves to be told.
I agree.
Tales of the
because we
Jedi
know
would be an
that-
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean, that would be a
yes.
good way to do it too, for
That-
sure.
that-
Just because we
yeah.
know, especially with the comics later, how they essentially didn't let his spirit rest in any capacity, and
Yeah.
essentially forced him to guard
Yeah,
a
Vader.
relic against his will.
That is so dark. Holy
Wow,
it- oh, it's twisted.
That's
So,
wow.
like,
shit.
I'm willing to bet that there was also some of that manipulation and pain brought to him early on to get him to that point to begin with.
Oh yeah.
So I think that there's a story to tell there, but I don't think it's
Yeah, and
one
Plus,
that
it
requires like a
definitely has
game or
big
live
story,
action. Or
'cause
anything.
he's been him being a temple guard Jedi Knight. That's a big position. That's
Mhm.
really something serious, and to be able to break him to turn
It's-
like
Yeah.
that has
Right.
to be a very big
Wild.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
an entire
Yeah, that's what I was
story.
thinking.
Oh, sorry, go.
That is interesting.
I was just gonna say he's the only Inquisitor we know of that was actually a knight, right? Everybody else was like Padawans or
Yeah. Yes. As of right now, yeah,
So-and-so.
absolutely.
Young Force
Yeah.
users. Yeah, I mean, we've
Yeah,
seen
Padawans
Trilla's
and-
turn
Right.
pretty clearly. Like it's like
Yeah.
very explicit
Yeah.
in the game. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
So yeah, I totally agree with that. If you get to that point, what kind of like Anakin-esque story do you have, right? Where you just, I mean, besides just being, terribly tortured and whatnot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah,
like,
by Anakin.
We
Probably.
can understand, right? With the
Probably.
younger, young Force users, we can understand because they're just starting. They don't have that capacity yet to like
Right.
withstand. But a full Temple Guard Jedi Knight, that had to take a lot.
And
Well,
one
the
time,
position of
probably a lot of
prestige anyways,
conditioning. Yeah.
so.
yeah. In the story of like the last line of defense of the Jedi Temple,
Mhm.
that's an
Yeah.
interesting story that needs to be told.
Oh yeah, because it's
Yes.
entirely possible that we get to see that assault on the temple, and they are like part of that last
And, like,
defense, right?
Yeah.
So
I
how
can
that
imagine,
whole
like,
defense fell.
Yes, and like watching your brothers die next to you.
I got one better for you. Riva show.
Oh,
Oh.
I can see that.
Yes. That's it.
And have her doing the path and have the Grand Inquisitor
hunting her down.
She has flashbacks. They connect to the Force. She can see his like we see his Order 66 origin story. I think that could be, if they were able to do it in live action, that's how they would do it. And I personally think Rupert Friend did a great job as the Grand Inquisitor.
He's playing a younger version of the character. I don't get why people were mad.
Yeah.
And also, Luke, that would be a cool scene too, because if they were to make a Reva show, what if they had a flashback of like a whole group of Jedi initiates that are, following a Jedi Master into the Jedi Temple, and then they come across a bunch of temple guards,
Yeah.
and one of them's just like looking at her very keenly. I don't know. It's just like a foreshadow moment. That'd be a little cool moment, but
real quick, Depaul, before you
interesting.
leave.
That is interesting.
Before you leave,
like Hawkback Clan. With,
plug the celebration.
Oh, yes. So sorry guys, I gotta take off. But had a great time. Thanks for the invite. I don't want to leave.
So good seeing you, Ryan. Seriously.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Jill, nice to meet you for the first time. And so doing a giveaway. I think there's 18 days left, and for a 4-day adult pass to Star Wars Celebration 2023. If you are going and you don't have a ticket, this is a great way to do it. I will drop the website in the actual chat, but you can go to www.jedimasterdepaul.com and it will pull up the website. Enter.
There you go, Jelly. Let's go, Jelly.
Listen,
So we can see you there, Jelly. Come on.
Jill's like I gotta go.
Come on, Wi-Fi.
And so no purchase necessary. Just follow the instructions, fill out the form, subscribe to the YouTube and the TikTok, and good luck.
Bless you.
yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you to Paul for coming.
Well, thank you for having me, and love you guys, and
love you
looking
too,
forward to the next
buddy.
one.
Oh,
You're a
yeah,
real one, Paul.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Later.
Bye, Ryan.
Later.
Bye.
All right, now back to the what were we talking about? Interconnect.
Grand Inquisitor, last time defense story.
Especially with the Jedi Temple Guard, how do you break somebody like that? I would love to see that,
Yeah.
whether a comic or a book or
Yes.
even animated. But like, we have to get 15 versions of Order 66. But that
If you want to go, if you want to go watch JJ's top feelings on Order 66, we have a video on our YouTube channel. Go check it out.
Before I
I do.
transition to the next question, I always thought about this with the Grand Inquisitor's like last line of defense. I always thought of the possibility of him like seeing the attempt and seeing Anakin, because at this point, would he try to take on Anakin, or would he go fuck this? I'm going up higher and try to take out Palpatine, and Palpatine's the one that tortures him.
Oh, wow.
I feel like he's like, fuck this shit. I see this is happening. I want to get in the archives like he does in the Vader comic. And I feel like he's... I mean, we get a little bit of flashbacks of Jocasta Nu being like, no, you can't have access to that.
And then you get the funny scene of like the panel of him reading all the books and like, oh, this is what I've been like waiting for him to read. And like Anakin, and it's like finding Jocasta new in the archives, and he's like throwing books and like he's like so cocky. I love it. I love that man.
Yeah, but that I think that could be. I don't think he's taken on Anakin. I think we've seen enough of Anakin in Order 66 for a long time.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
So, but yeah, Hereth, next question.
All right, this is the first question I wrote while like during this episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being transparent this episode. You know,
I'm glad you're being transparent.
I could be like that one episode of season 1.
No,
where
you didn't. You bullshitted your whole way through that.
Yes, it was amazing, and you didn't notice. Like I'm doing right now.
It works. It works.
Hey.
So, I should have saved this for Twilight of the Apprentice, but you know, I just like firing questions off right now when it's eager and it's on the mind. With Ahsoka's trauma with Anakin and Rebels, how do you think that will factor into the Ahsoka series?
Oh,
because that just doesn't go away. You can't just be like,
right. Never mind. I'm gonna let somebody, because I guarantee you somebody's got it on their brain. So somebody says,
no, Luke, I think you got it.
Fine, I will say
go for it. Go for it, you Anakin stan.
I think the conversation. I think there's going to be a time mix up here. I think she's going to meet Luke for the first time in like them actually meeting and talking, and talking about how she, like, the first time they met, and then he brings up Anakin was still there. And I feel like when Hayden comes back in the show and talks to Ahsoka, it's not going to be as why did you do these things? It's because she's heard it from the son of what Anakin was able to accomplish. And I feel like it's not going to have the shock value. I think it's going to be the shock is in like seeing him as a Force ghost probably, but I feel like it's going to be a lot of questions. That's what I'm thinking.
JJ, your thoughts? I think
you look like you have something.
You look like you're generating an idea.
I'm trying to. It's for me. Oh my gosh. Is it just gonna be? Is Ahsoka show gonna focus so much on Anakin and that relationship with Anakin, or is it just gonna be?
I think it's.
I think it's gonna be partial. I think it might be one episode.
Okay.
I hope it's like
It's Hayden. Look, I don't like. You guys know I go into stuff really blind. I don't do reviews. I don't do speculation.
Hayden's gonna be in the show.
Okay.
Wrote by Hollywood Reporter.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a solid source. She'll probably meet Luke, I would assume, but I think the focus is going to be Ezra and Thrawn, which I hope that's the case. Like that is what I'm looking forward to the most. And if there is a confrontation with Anakin, it's going to be in the spirit of Obi-Wan and Anakin in the Obi-Wan show to finally let go and move on from that. Either you know what I mean? Like for her not to blame herself anymore for leaving the Jedi Order, to let go, to remember her master as he was.
Yes.
Yeah. In her head, she could probably he will struggle with separating the two to remember the good stuff, because he's the reason that she survived this whole time. Like it's his training, his all of that. So I have a feeling it's going to be a journey of letting go in order to actually guide and save Ezra and face Thrawn. So I think that's a story that's going to happen, and I hope it happens. I think that would be a solid way to kind of venture into Ahsoka. So. Yeah, we shall see.
Because to me, like in The Mandalorian, she kind of seemed already more at peace with herself.
Yes. I agree.
More, she wasn't all like still, because you can tell when somebody's still struggling with something.
Body language was calm the whole time.
And everything. Her focus was just Thrawn and Ezra. So the show is going to definitely be that. I don't think she's going to have to work through anything concerning Anakin in the show, because she already did. Unless they show like a quick flashback of how she was able to just, like I said, like Luke said, she's gonna have maybe a conversation with Luke real quick, quick flashback or whatever. But from the little bits and pieces that we've seen of the show, it is just showing mainly Hera and the Ghost Crew and everything. So it's gonna be that main focus. I don't think they're gonna focus too much on that. since Hayden we know he's gonna be in the show, maybe a Clone Wars flashback.
I was gonna say, what if this
Yeah.
episode? What if this
Yeah, the
this particular
holocron.
episode is exactly like a same
Yeah.
same like
It
like
could.
a flashback
That's-
or
that's an
mirroring of
interesting-
that.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting. That's an interesting
yes.
take.
Like episode
Uh,
5.
That's what I was
all I-
thinking about.
All I'm saying is I don't want. I've seen enough Clone Wars.
Yep,
I've seen
I've
enough
seen enough
Same.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I've,
I don't.
Yeah,
I've honestly
no, I
seen
don't-
enough Anakin myself as well.
Yeah.
Like I wanted
Agree.
the show to be more like if he's a big part of it, I'm gonna probably be a little disappointed
I agree.
I don't
because
think
the show's called Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think
But
maybe
I
Called
wouldn't be
Anakin.
I wouldn't be mad either if it was just her trying to like talk to
Mhm.
Anakin, trying to find like
Get some
advice,
advice or
like
something.
Yoda does.
Kind of
with
like
Luke
how
in The Last
Well, kind of
Jedi.
like
Yes.
how Obi-Wan does
Oh
in
my
Kenobi.
God! Yes, the
Yeah.
Last
Obi-Wan
Jedi.
and
Yeah,
Rey
Yoda
I-
and Luke
trying to
moment.
connect.
That
Yeah.
like just Anakin, what do you think about this? And he's like, all right, well, let's talk about it. You know, like
Yeah.
what can we do?
That
You
could
know?
be fun.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
We
love
already
that.
know
Yeah.
that Anakin can manifest himself from the book,
Yes.
from
Yeah.
the,
Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shadows
That's
of the
Shadow
Sith
of Shadow of the Sith.
and-
Shadow of the Sith.
Shadow
yeah,
of
Shadow of the
Sith.
Sith.
Yeah.
So it could
We
just
got
God, I
be
love
robbed.
that.
thing.
We got robbed. We should have.
Oh yeah.
gotten more of
Also,
that.
Luke, I was gonna say this, but didn't want to interrupt. They did explicitly say that in the book
What?
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
that Luke doesn't see Anakin after Endor.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be Luke seeing him.
No,
Right.
it-
No, I'm saying
No,
Ahsoka's definitely gonna see him, but
Ahsoka will see
Yeah.
him. I think that conversation is going to be between Luke and Ahsoka, not Anakin.
which I
should
said
be.
that. I said that. Didn't I
Yeah.
say it during the episode? That was my hot take. I don't want to even see Anakin in that scene at all. This is the scene between these two characters. Let it be
Yeah.
between these two characters. I don't even want to see
Yeah.
Obi-Wan. Just let it be these two characters have this moment.
Here's
yeah,
an idea.
no,
I think
no, Luke.
this-
Yeah, I don't. Luke is not gonna. It's just between Ahsoka and Anakin, not
Mhm.
Luke having to be involved. If they go that route, it's just
Right.
her talking to Anakin. And I want it to be after she already spoke with Luke. If she's gonna have a conversation
Yeah.
about Anakin with Luke,
But
it would
Yeah.
be like after, because now
Yeah,
she
I-
knows that Anakin is good, and she could try to try to reach out to him. I was like, okay, at least we know that Anakin, came back at the end, and maybe he's in the Force, and I'm gonna try to get in contact with him now. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
So, see, this is how I see it. Okay, so at the very beginning of the intro of the show, I think they're going to be able to be like, okay, this is where my son is, because Force spirits are able to see in the future and be able to be like, okay, yeah, my son is doing this on this planet. He's going to rebuild what I destroyed, and he's going to be like, hey, you got to go there, because I can't be around forever, because I'm doing Force Ghost things.
I
You can
can't
talk to
fuck with
him.
things because
Hang
it's
out with him.
destiny and some
Yeah.
Force Ghost.
Grand Force
mumbo
Ghost
jumbo.
Cantina over here. Sorry.
So I think
I love it.
the way that Ahsoka will find Luke is through Anakin,
That would be interesting.
Mhm.
That would be
That
cool.
would be cool and
'cause I don't think-
unexpected.
Yeah.
because what Kenny said was that Shadow of the Sith does say that Luke doesn't see Anakin until after from that moment in Shadow of the Sith. He doesn't see him before that, since Endor.
Yep.
So that space of time where from 4 ABY to 21 ABY, he doesn't see him.
Yeah.
So
He's
Luke-
not ready to see him.
Anakin knows,
Mhm.
but Luke
Yeah.
is not aware that Anakin knows. So I
Mhm.
think that's where it's all going to stem from. But I mean, the main focus of Ahsoka is going to be about her finding Ezra and
Mhm.
taking down Thrawn, which is what was
Mhm.
implied in Mandalorian. So
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I want it to be
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Ahsoka and her journey now, what
Yeah.
she's going
Yeah,
through.
because like you were saying, we see her like I don't want to say like fully healed from the trauma in any
Right,
capacity,
right,
right?
right.
'Cause it,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't really go away, but just who she is in the Mandalorian
Yes. Look.
is
Very
so much beyond who she is in Rebels.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
100%.
if they do like a flashback where they show kind of the trauma and the understanding and the growth, I really hope they get it out of the way soon
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
like the first
Yeah.
episode or two, and then
I
move
agree.
on to what the show feels like it
focus
should be
is.
about.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Before I move on to explaining the Char new interesting facts, like Cal, you really sparked an idea in my brain because, again, I didn't see the trailer. I didn't be able to get into the panel. I had to watch a really bad recording of the trailer. Thanks, Celebration. I should have just waited in line, but I didn't know that back then.
Oh, day one, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
JJ and Tia, we are dragging you to that. We are gonna have spots saved in the line.
I will
where
get
we
there
can get
early.
in.
I will save you
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
that was the plan. Day one is that we get there, we scope out the place, and then we get to our spots as quick as we can for that first panel.
But like, I believe fully that the Rebels epilogue, we're going to see it in Ahsoka. From the trailer, it looks like we're going to see it. And if you remember, Ahsoka is wearing the Gandalf like white gown. It's like it's very much like kind of like Gandalf in Two Towers. She's very much not, I would say enlightened, but like she's like we've seen like her in the future. She's definitely like these like 5 years of the original trilogy. She's getting over her trauma, like not getting over it fully, but like building on it and like assessing what happened.
Yeah.
Jill,
Working through it, yes.
before we move on, you've been shaking your head. I want to hear your thoughts.
Everybody's making great points. Listen, this one, that one. Oh, I love what. Oh God, see, I'm getting excited. I love what you guys said, kind of giving different perspectives on like, because I think everybody has just been like, oh, it's going to be a flashback, whatever. But I also would love, like Cal said, for them to kind of not get it over with, because I want to see it, but like if that flashback is happening and it doesn't come until the 5th episode or whatever, it's like we're all waiting for it and we're waiting for it. And it is kind of like, we're not necessarily focusing on Ahsoka like you guys are saying. And it's what we want it to be about.
Because you know what's gonna happen? Like it happened with Obi-Wan. Everybody's gonna be, when is this coming? When is this coming?
The show sucks.
Fuck up and enjoy it as it is.
This show sucks.
I was fighting for my life.
Dude,
fighting for my life.
I think we all were. We were fighting like crazy.
I've been fighting for my life with Ahsoka, and the show isn't even out yet. We don't even have a trailer. I'm tired. This is the show I've been the most excited for, and the discourse around it so far has been horrible.
I guarantee you, day one, Ahsoka trailer. Guaranteed. Take it to the bank.
And also this thought came to mind too, like, because Ahsoka is trying to take down Thrawn. At this point in time, he's an Imperial remnant. Who knows better about the Imperial remnants than Luke Skywalker himself? He has an outlet from the head guy who was once, the man in the suit, but he knows things. And Luke has been traveling the galaxy, as we saw in Battlefront 2's campaign, with him finding relics of the Empire and Palpatine's compass and all these other things. So he knows a lot of things. And I'm sure he can help Ahsoka find Thrawn. I think that's the reason why she's there. Is not because he's like, oh yeah, you're the son of my master. No, I mean he's the perfect outlet to finding the Imperial remnants.
I mean, but so is Leia, and
True.
we could get a Leia appearance.
Oh, Ahsoka and a Leia conversation would be so good too.
All I know is that
I don't know if I would
survive. Pass away.
I would
Leia hates it.
I would become one of them.
Yeah, exactly. She'd be like, "Yo, we're gonna find these."
No, but like the whole like Ahsoka and Leia connecting over Padme would be an interesting conversation.
Oh my god! Don't even
considering
right now, Hereth.
Considering
there
that
could be recordings. R2 never got rid of his recordings.
Don't pull Legends, Char. This is not Legends.
He never erased his.
That's what I want.
He never erased all of his.
We gotta see because there's so many things that can be done, but
I
do not tease Padme to me ever.
No, Hereth, I'm not saying that like.
No, but you know what? That's the one thing that I'm gonna advocate for, because Padme is so disrespected in live action.
Yes,
after
she is.
She is.
I want Padme in everything.
But the problem is like it can be explained through story wise, because after the Clone Wars, Palpatine purposely erased every known thing that happened with Padme Amidala, just
except for R2.
Besides R2, like there's nothing. Like there is no like remnants besides Bael's knowledge in Mon Mothma and those that actually knew Padme. Like there's no documentation. There's nothing.
Oh, it's
She
because
is
Padme was
erased
the
from-
main
Yeah,
force
she-
that was
yes,
going
yes,
against Palpatine
yes,
in the
yes.
whole, like, everything he was doing. She was the main person fighting against it the entire 3 years of the Clone Wars. So, of
Yeah.
course, Palpatine is like, fuck you, I'm gonna, like, remove you.
Because
Because, like,
Yeah.
like, what the hell's gonna
Well,
happen to
maybe,
Well,
Chuchi
not to
after
maybe
all
Leia
this?
went to Naboo and spoke to her.
Oh my god, I'm so
family.
worried
I
about
don't
Chuchi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
no, Hereth, I know what you mean by legends, like with how like Leia like figured out who she was because R2 has a recording of her being born. No,
no,
that's
I
not what I'm
thought it was
saying.
gonna be the whole, like, because I remember David saying this in a VC, like, they thought Padme was a different person because in Legends they wrote a whole backstory about Luke and, like, Leia's mom. Like, I remember them saying, or was it when they flat out? It was on one of the.
No,
Dude, 'cause
but I
remember
think
talk-
that if we were to see a Leia and Padme scene, it would be through R2.
you mean oh
No,
okay.
because the way Luke and Leia figured out they were twins, I think
Yeah,
for
it's that.
confirmation was from R2.
Well, we know
Because
Leia
he has like a
knows who her mother
hologram
is,
recording
right?
of it. I was like, okay.
Because in Bloodline, she does bring her up in the book.
She knows who she
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Bale definitely told her.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean,
Yeah.
with
Well, in
with
whatever sense, I just want Padme being brought up. That's
yeah,
that's the
absolutely,
main thing.
absolutely.
Also, I wanted just to say that going back to just real quick about Ahsoka with the Anakin thing, I think that it would be great if they did it at the beginning. That we
Yes.
find out how she moved on. That way, we
Mhm.
as the audience can move on from that.
Can
as
move
well.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
agreed.
Definitely.
done. We're
Agreed.
good,
Absolutely.
you
Like,
know?
rip the band-aid off right out of the gate,
Yeah,
first episode.
yeah,
Like,
we
I
healed
love.
with Ahsoka. We are.
That's not
we
what the
need that
story's
healing
about.
too.
We're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We
And,
healed
like-
with Ahsoka. Now let's get to the
Yeah,
nitty gritty.
and I love. I forget. I think Chocolate said this on Die in the Force. Like, I hope the first episode of Ahsoka is almost like, I want to call it like a prologue, but like it just is like a, like, this is Ahsoka. This is where she's been between Rebels to the epilogue, and then boom.
So kind of like what they did with Rings of Power in the
Yes,
first
I literally said I've said that
one, and
before.
to be honest, the way they
It
did that
works.
first
It
part
works. It's
first part
effective.
of that first episode was I could see them doing it with Ahsoka because not everybody like obviously all of us are we know who she is. But
Mhm.
for the common fan, this might be their first introduction to Star Wars, period.
Right.
And
Oh,
they need
you're
to
right.
connect with that character, so maybe they
Like,
do something.
I'm gonna quote Chase here. Like,
Boom,
Chase said,
yeah.
there's gonna be people that watch Mando and go, "Oh, that's the person with the white lightsabers. I think she's cool. I'm gonna watch her series."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, because that's the brilliance of making these shows. It's not only for the new fans; it's also about continuity as well.
Mhm.
So you got to make
Yeah.
it seem like these are brand new, fresh characters, but they're also legacy characters at
Right.
the same
Right.
time.
Right.
So if these people are new to Star Wars and this is the first thing that they watch, or if they've seen Mandalorian and they want to know more about her in live action, when they go to see Ahsoka, they'll be like, "Oh my God, that's her!" You know, what's that about and everything. So,
Yep.
so and then when Anakin and Ahsoka have they're gonna talk. They're gonna have a little meetup, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like,
But
what other
that's what
purpose would
happened
Anakin be
with
there?
me. That's what happened with me and during COVID. Like after Mandalorian, I kept people kept talking about, oh, Ahsoka's gonna be in it. Ahsoka's gonna. I didn't know who Ahsoka is because I never had watched Clone Wars or Rebels.
Mhm.
That's hearing that. That's what made me want to go watch all the shows so I could be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I know who that is now.
And if we
Yeah,
get a
because-
recap, does that mean we get live action Kanan too? Maybe.
Yeah, I would. I would lose. I've said this for the longest time. They're not going to do it because of animation, but I would lose
Yeah.
my shit if
No,
Ahsoka starts and we get a Kenobi style recap where it's just Rebels. I would lose my goddamn mind.
We
That
need
would
the
be the
ponytail
final scene.
Definitely
or the
dub
freaking
some exposition
the
for sure,
IMAX?
though.
Yeah, either way.
Ah,
Oh,
Stop.
but Char, you know what time it is.
I do, but I want to say one thing.
Oh my god.
Ahsoka, I think Ahsoka doesn't get enough credit for her character.
What do you
She
mean?
is the bridge between the George Lucas era Star Wars and the Disney era Star Wars. And she's been amazing in both of those sides of the stories. I mean, I feel like she's the connective tissue between the two.
You would say interconnectedness? By any
Yes.
chance?
But we're done with that. So let's go to 3 interesting facts. 3 interesting facts about a certain Rebels arc that you didn't know about until now. Part 22, Shroud of Darkness edition. Fact 1. Lothwolf drawings. The ancient artwork seen in the Jedi Temple includes humanoid beings riding what appears to be giant wolves. Fact 2.
W, baby.
Inspiration of the dojo. The design of the Jedi dojo created for the episode was previewed in Star Wars Canon number 7, published in October of 2015. Fact 3, Wall of Sabers. The lightsabers in the training dojo were repurposed / redressed animation props, including ringless Inquisitor lightsabers, Temple Guard lightsabers, and lightsabers belonging to Ki-Adi-Mundi, Luminar Unduli, Kit Fisto, and Adigalia. And there you have it. Those are the 3 interesting facts about Shroud of Darkness. Luke, say Adigalia 3 times.
Adigalia, Adigalia, Adigalia. Suck it.
Proud of you. Proud of you. It took you about a year to
That was
master
very
it.
Fast
good.
is
Anyway.
relative there, I suppose.
For those of you who don't know, like very earlier on when Luke and I were just doing this thing, there was an episode of Clone Wars where there's Adigalia.
Like
And every single time
8,000
her name
times.
came into the mix, he had to point at
Well,
me and have me say the name.
I
'cause
mean,
he
I
couldn't
mean,
say it.
I mean, I
That's
didn't know my
hilarious.
own. I didn't know how to say my own girlfriend's name for like
Yeah, it took
Yeah,
me like
it was
9 months
great
to
because we
understand.
created a great montage for the 12-hour stream because she actually specifically asked me to do that.
Well,
Just
then that's-
Atlantis
that's
without the
bullshit.
T. Atlantis.
Yeah,
There you
Atlantis,
go.
Atlantis,
He would
Atlantis.
say Elanus, and it was the funniest thing. And Char also messed up a simple name as Liv as Liz. I don't know how this
Alright,
happens on the
alright,
show early on.
All right.
Yada,
Okay,
yada, yada.
So,
Okay.
so now it's time to rank the episode. Bad Ensign, okay, Lieutenant. I'm pretty sure we're all gonna go with Grand Admiral,
Chef.
right?
Grand
Yep,
Admiral.
chef's kiss for me.
I was gonna make a meme. I was gonna wait for everyone to go
Ensign,
through and then
sure.
come back to the fact I didn't watch the episode, but I was still gonna rank it a Grand Admiral. But you didn't even give me
Hereth,
that
you're already
possibility.
Here, if you don't
Yeah,
need to watch it. The fact that you didn't even watch it and knew what you were talking about just shows that it's a Grand Admiral because it's
Yeah.
memorable as hell.
It's
There you go.
memorable. Absolutely.
Also, I watched it like a couple months ago, so it's like I still have it on
I
memory.
still
now.
remember it.
There you go. Yeah. So I'm just gonna make an executive decision and say that this is the what?
Wow, how very Empire of you, Luke. Just take control of everyone's opinions.
Well, everybody's
Just
everybody's
imagining Depaul saying,
everybody's
Grandmaster.
everybody's opinion
with
is
us.
going to be pretty much the same. Am I wrong? Please tell me if I am. No? Okay.
I got the
Cal.
You know what? Put it right
Kiss that
there.
chef,
for me,
Luke.
too. You know what? That was
There we
a cherry-
go.
You know what was the cherry on top for me? Even though it's a very deep emotional, they showed us how much of a whole Kenan was.
Yes.
He goes,
Yeah.
I don't fight. I don't go for crazy anymore.
And
I'm like,
Yeah.
And then she goes,
grabs
I
his
like
brain.
brains anyways. Calling him calling him
I was like,
And then her
"Sweet
secret
now,
droid
hey."
grabs head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Oh my
that was, I
God.
think, one of the moments that I was like, I get you,
Let
Kanan.
me stop.
Yeah,
But-
oh my God, you're right.
Guys, that's gonna be it. This was kind of a longer episode, but this is a very important episode.
Yes.
And we
very
did
well
have
heavy.
we did
Good
have
cast.
five people on. And Char, did you want to say something? Because you went.
I want to say one more thing that's,
Oh my
Okay, go ahead.
that wasn't talked about this episode.
Okay, go.
Okay, my dog is over here. Okay,
Oh,
dog.
I'll go.
But in when that scene where Ezra walks in on Ahsoka looking at the Anakin hologram, from that point, that foreshadows season 7 of Clone Wars, because she says that the last time she saw him was when he was rushing off to save the Chancellor, which
Yes.
by that time they were together
Yeah.
right before Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Or during Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
right.
And
when
that
she-
episode
when
came
he-
out
when
in
he gave her the
2016.
lightsabers. That's what the
Yeah.
last thing that he told
and
her.
then
Also-
way after the fact.
Sure, not to ruin the moment, but I swear we brought it up. I remember saying, "Oh yeah," because JJ brought it up, and I was like, "Oh yeah," because they referenced back to Siege of Mandalore, and it was like a whole thing.
It's okay.
wasn't
Char
even-
sometimes
It
doesn't
wasn't-
remember
Char,
these things.
Char's memory
Siege of
gets wiped every
Mandalore.
15 minutes, so he just forgets what happens on the
I
podcast.
just
Mandalore.
realized that again too. I'm like, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I missed it.
JJ's like, God damn, this has been an hour and 38
It
minutes.
just shows how much of a
I haven't-
clusterfuck this episode is, and the audio listeners are getting just like, "What the hell is going
Or
on? Are these
carrots.
people on crack?"
You know what? Or some people have short-term memory of a baby carrot.
Yeah, that is true.
Ah,
Also, with
Yeah.
an interview from Dave
Oh.
Filoni too, he said that Ahsoka could have just, straight up lied and been like, "The last time I saw him was when I left the Jedi Order," but she didn't say that.
Yeah.
So, because Matt Lanter and Ashley actually were both for the episode, so they were like, "Yeah, she was around at this time." And but Dave
When I-
Filoni is super good at keeping things secret, and yeah, it was great.
Okay, one just like real quick, one thing. One
Yeah.
thing that I love every time that they bring this up is how the Jedi fucked up during the Clone Wars, and I love that Yoda did this in here. When he-
Yes.
in our arrogance, joined the conflict swiftly. We did.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you. Every
Finally.
time they bring
Finally.
something up
Yeah.
talking about this, I was like, yes, please. We need to. That's a constant reminder that they
Yeah.
I can say for Podwans, we are officially a prequel Jedi slander podcast.
Keanu Mundi and to a point the rest
yeah.
of the Jedi Order, but Anakin made his decisions. It's not
yeah.
just the
Yeah,
Jedi Orders.
obviously, yeah.
That's the one. That's the one I'm not going to let slide. But
Yeah.
anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on. Jill, we're gonna start with you, the newbie. Where can the new people follow you?
Okay, like I said, I am a newbie in general, so mostly TikTok. I am at Leia It Down, and on Instagram, I am just Jillian Miranda K, which is my name on TikTok as well. And I have a YouTube where I've mostly just been posting gaming stuff right now because I'm also new at that. But we're getting there.
Cool.
Absolutely, go follow her. It was great to have you on for your first Star Wars podcast. I know a lot of people here have enjoyed it, so we'll have to have you on again.
I would know that. Thank you guys so much. It was so fun. I love having nerd friends now. Wow, look at me.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, Jill, we need you back on for more. Your personality, amazing. Amazing.
I'm gonna go cry in my bathtub now.
One complimented me.
Cal. Cal.
Yeah, I mean, I will actually be going live on Twitch here nowish after the podcast here at just twitch.tv/Cal4. Technically, we're starting late, but that's okay.
Sorry, Cal.
No, it's all good. I'd rather be
JJ?
here hanging out.
That's nice. Oh, I mostly post on TikTok and Twitter under Lady Dragon JJ, so that's where you can find me. And I just want to give a shout out to Nick for an excellent Ted Lasso joke that made my night, so I appreciate that. This was
You see, Nick, I've never seen Ted Lasso, so
dude, that is a
We
crime.
will not take it personal.
This is the moment where I admit I haven't seen it either.
Look, I haven't seen.
Get the fuck
Watch
out
party.
of here!
Look,
Get out of here! No!
I haven't
No!
Give me back.
You love how you timed it perfectly when Char came out because I definitely was not flipping off the camera.
Luke, I have never seen
Hilarious.
Ted Lasso, never seen The Office, never seen Always Sunny. So hey, don't
Oh
kick me.
my god!
Don't
this
kick
is a
me.
crime.
We
This is
gotta tell the good people where we can find these beautiful folks. Okay.
true. Yes,
Don't be
we'll
over
talk
here
about this.
acting
We'll
in
talk
anger.
I
about
derailed. I apologize. I just saw
We'll
a really good
talk-
joke. I had to
JJ.
point it out. That was my fault.
JJ, you said we're
Yes,
Oh my
TikTok and
God.
Twitter mostly. Yes, but
All right.
Instagram.
Oh my god!
I love how we get the
Oh,
biggest
hey,
reaction moment on a podcast episode, not the actual series reactions. What?
Hey! Always Sunny reactions with Char. Oh my
Please,
god!
can I be a
Stop.
part of it?
Luke.
I'm begging.
No.
I was born in Philly.
Oh,
Seriously?
I love.
Have you
that
seen the
idea.
show?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I
Just
love
but
checking.
I am a big Danny
Alright,
it's
DeVito
great,
guy,
but I
so
wanna be
I
there.
may make an exception.
Dude, that
Danny
would be so
DeVito
much fun.
is.
I love
God.
Jersey Mike,
DeVito.
and he's in those commercials.
He's Frank. His Frank is
Yes.
awesome. But Tia. Yeah, we've hit our record for derailments. for
Thank
today.
God we weren't
Did
drinking
JJ
because this
get
would
to,
have
like,
been
say
a
their
complete whole
handle?
other.
Hey, we're not sit-faced over there. Not
Yeah.
plug.
Okay, guys. So TikTok and Twitter is Star Wars Tia, and Instagram is Kari Skywalker. So that's why you can find me.
Hereth.
You ever watch me just switch my face and muscle memory into this? Well, you can find me at Hereth Productions on TikTok and Instagram, and you can find me at Hereth_edits on Twitter, and of course, you can find me here on the Pod Ones.
Oh, no hive. No hive.
You've done this the last 5 times. Yes, there's no hive because Twitter still exists. Why would I use this platform?
Char, where can the good people follow you on the social medias?
Watch the
So
switch.
people can find me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at CharJ, as spelled right here. And you can find me here at the Pod Ones podcast every Thursday night as we cover our Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Next week, check us out for season 2, episode 19, The Forgotten Droid.
Ooh.
And you can follow us at the Pod Ones on all social medias. Thank you everybody here in the space. Everybody in the chat. If you're rewatching this, like the stream, that would help us out. If you want to check out all of our other content, whether it's House of Dragon, Game of Thrones with Stark Sisters, or soon
Rings
to
of Power?
be Rings of
Mando?
Power, Mando, Bad Batch. If you want to go watch our reactions to Bad
You
Batch.
want to watch me become absolutely feral?
Or yeah, here in a couple of months. But that's gonna be it. May the force be with you.
Always.
Always.
See you guys.